Chapter 1. The Arrival. The year was 2142. The stars had become an endless ocean, and humanity, ever hungry for exploration, had reached the farthest corners of the galaxy. Interstellar travel was no longer a dream but a reality, one that came with its own challenges, dangers, and, for some, unimaginable discoveries. I had heard about Zetrox, 12 from a series of old reports, but nothing could have prepared me for what awaited there. As a member of the Space Exploration Corps, I'd seen my fair share of strange planets, but this one was different. Zetrox, 12 was cloaked in a veil of mystery, a barren world devoid of any life. At least, that's what the records suggested. When our ship, the Vanguard, made its way through the wormhole and approached the planet's atmosphere, a strange unease settled over the crew. The air was thick with an unknown energy. The planet's surface, rugged and desolate, looked like something from a nightmare. "Captain, we're nearing the drop zone," my second-in-command, Lieutenant Rowan, announced. I nodded. "Prepare for landing. Everyone stay sharp. We don't know what we're dealing with here." The crew moved efficiently, strapping into their seats as the ship descended through the atmosphere. The turbulence was severe, but we managed to land safely near a massive crater, surrounded by rocky outcrops. The land was silent, too silent, as if holding its breath. My boots crunched on the cracked surface as I stepped outside. A pale yellow sun hung in the sky, casting long shadows over the barren landscape. The wind was still, and not a single bird, insect, or animal stirred. There was a strange sense of loneliness here, but it wasn't the kind that made you feel isolated. It was the kind that made you feel watched. "Captain, look at this," Rowan called out, his voice tight with disbelief. I joined him at the edge of the crater. There, etched into the stone, was a pattern, an intricate design of symbols I had never seen before. It was no natural formation. It was deliberate, crafted with purpose. "We'll need to send this back to the Central Archives for translation," I said, though I knew deep down that something about this place wasn't going to be explained by simple science. "Agreed, Captain," Rowan said. "But this is only the beginning. There's something else." I turned and followed his gaze. Out of the shadows of the rocky outcrop, a figure appeared. It was a girl, human in appearance, but her features were off. Her skin had a faint silver sheen to it, her eyes glowed a soft blue, and her hair, long and flowing, shimmered like liquid. She was beautiful, but in a way that was almost otherworldly. "Who are you?" I demanded, my hand instinctively reaching for the weapon at my side. The girl stepped forward, her eyes never leaving mine. "I know you," she said in a voice that was soft but filled with certainty. "You don't remember me, but I remember you." I took a step back, my pulse quickening. "What do you mean? Who are you?" She tilted her head, as if studying me. "I knew you the moment you entered this planet's atmosphere. You've been here before. A long time ago." I felt a shiver run down my spine. "That's impossible." She smiled a knowing, sad smile. "It is not impossible, but it's a truth you've forgotten." Chapter 2. The Lost Memories. I took a step toward her, my thoughts racing. There was something in her eyes, something familiar, like a puzzle piece I couldn't quite place. My head throbbed, and an overwhelming sense of déjà vu hit me. "Who are you?" I repeated, my voice less commanding this time. The girl extended her hand toward me. "My name is Lyra. I've been waiting for you." I froze. Her name struck a chord deep within me. Lyra. It felt like it should have meant something. "You've been waiting for me?" I asked, incredulity creeping into my voice. Lyra nodded. "The memory of you is embedded in this world. It always has been. I am the keeper of this place, the last living remnant of those who once lived here. The words felt heavy, laden with an ancient sadness. What happened to your people? The same thing that always happens, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. We were forgotten. I glanced at the symbols etched in the stone near the crater. You said I've been here before.
How?
Lyra's gaze softened. It was centuries ago. You came to this world as part of an expedition, much like this one. You saw the symbols. You spoke to me. But when you left, you didn't remember. The pieces started to fall into place. The sensation of familiarity, the sense that this planet held some deeper connection to me. What do you mean, I didn't remember? You're kind, she said, her voice tinged with sorrow, erases memories to protect themselves. You were here before, but when you left, you forgot. And now you've returned. I stepped back, shaken by her words. I don't remember anything about that. I've never been here before, Lyra. She shook her head gently. You may not remember, but I do. I've waited here for you, in hopes that one day you would come back and remember who you are. Before I could respond, there was a loud crackling sound from behind us. The ground shook beneath our feet. The ship's alarm blared in the distance, signaling a problem. What's happening? Rowan shouted from the ship. I don't know, I said, turning to face the ship. The ground beneath us had begun to split, and something was rising from the depths of the planet. Lyra's eyes widened. You have to go. You have to leave now before it's too late. Chapter 3. The truth revealed. I ran toward the ship, Lyra's warning echoing in my mind. The earth trembled with each passing second. Whatever was awakening beneath us wasn't natural. Inside the ship, alarms blared, and the crew scrambled to assess the damage. I sprinted to the cockpit, my heart racing. Captain, Rowan yelled. We're picking up massive seismic activity. The core of the planet is destabilizing. We need to leave, now. I glanced at Lyra, who stood at the edge of the crater, watching us. She wasn't coming with us. What's happening? I demanded. Why is the planet reacting like this? Lyra spoke, her voice carrying over the roar of the ship's engines. The awakening was inevitable. You are the catalyst. You always were. The catalyst for what? I shouted back. Her voice grew faint as the ground trembled even harder. For the awakening of the ancient power buried here, and for the memories of what was lost. In that moment, it all clicked. The symbols, the strange feeling, the pull toward this planet, it wasn't just coincidence. The expedition had been part of something far bigger. I had been sent here before in another life, another mission. The memories had been erased, but the power that had been left behind had never faded. Lyra, I yelled. Please tell me what's going on. But she didn't answer. The ground beneath her cracked open, and a blinding light erupted from the depths of the planet. It was as if the entire world had come alive. I turned to the ship. We need to go, now. The engines roared to life, lifting us off the surface, just as the planet began to collapse inward. The last thing I saw was Lyra standing there, bathed in the light of the awakening force. Chapter 4. The awakening. The Vanguard soared back into the depths of space, leaving Zetrox, 12 behind. We could see the planet from the window, a ball of energy as it imploded upon itself. The ancient power buried deep within had finally been unleashed, and in that moment, I realized the world had not just died, it had been waiting. I turned to Rowan, still shaking from the escape. What the hell just happened? He shook his head. I don't know, Captain. But that girl, Lyra, she wasn't human. She was something else. Something else indeed. The last words she'd spoken to me still echoed in my mind. You have always been the catalyst. And then it hit me. Maybe, in a way, I had always known. Maybe I had been to that world before, remembered and forgotten, lost and found. The truth was still out there, hidden in the stars, waiting to be rediscovered.
The end.